What's up, guys? It is Carly here, bringing you another DVD slash Blu-ray slash VHS slash any other random thing type of update. I just moved into my new apartment literally yesterday, so as you can see, the background's kind of a mess still. This is kind of like the spare room slash movie room. As you can see, get a preview of the movie sitting there, and I was gonna wait until I had everything together to really make more videos, but I kind of just wanted to get this out of the way because, you know, if you let update videos go, then your stuff gets kind of out of control. But it's not as bad as I thought it was, but at the same time I kind of wanted to just get this out of control since it is the sort of beginning of the month here, and that's usually when I do them anyway. So I'm just gonna get right on into it. First up, I'm gonna show, you know, some just random horror related stuff that I got or picked up or whatever. And first up, we have this Jaws shirt. JP actually got me this for my birthday, and that is awesome. You know, I feel like a lot of people have Jaws shirts. That's like a common thing that people just have. They might not even like the movie that much, but this is such a popular image in pop culture and things like that, and I did not have one, so I was pretty happy to get this. I think you just got it at Walmart in the boys section, but yeah, happy to finally have a Jaws shirt. I think that movie is awesome. Next up, we have Mortal Kombat here. This is one where you can play as the horror characters. Obviously, I have not played this yet because it's still in the packaging and everything. Like I said, once again, this is something else that JP got me for my birthday, and then soon after that is when I found out I was moving, so I have not had the chance to really open this up and play it, but I'm pretty excited. I've never played it before, and I think it's cool that it is the horror characters you can play as in this game. Next up, we have the Universal Classic Monster box set here. This is awesome. This was the final thing that JP got me, like the main type of present he got me for my birthday, and you know, this is just awesome to have. It is the Blu-ray set. They did put out a DVD set, I know, back in the day, and JP actually owns that set, I believe, but he got me this Blu-ray set, and it's just such a nice box here. It's a pretty you know, thick, solid box. Sometimes box sets are pretty flimsy, but this one's nice and solid, and as you can see, you get every single one in here, and some of the Blu-rays have the same movies on them, such as like Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. I believe that's on the Dracula and the Frankenstein, and whatever other one, you know, they're a disc set in here. So have not, unfortunately, got the chance to crack into these. A lot of these movies I really haven't had the chance to sit down and watch because I've been busy watching other stuff for podcasts or YouTube or anything like that. So haven't had much free time with movie watching, but I can't wait to just pop these on. You know, it's a good thing to kind of watch late at nights. You know, they're all easy watches, and a lot of them I have not seen, so I'm excited to actually dig in and watch some of the other ones in here, such as the Mummy movies. I've never seen any of the Mummies, and you know, Creature from the Black Lagoon, I saw at a drive-in, and that's probably one of the best ones, but since I was at the drive-in, it wasn't the best experience because I'm not always paying attention, so excited to rewatch that, excited to watch all these. Awesome gift right there. Next up, we're going to get into the Blu-rays, and once again, some of these were gifted to me. A lot of stuff was actually gifted to me because I haven't been picking a lot of stuff up. I've been trying to kind of slow down on that once again. But first up, we have The Shining, the Steelbook here. Pretty awesome. I got this from Austin. You know, The Shining obviously is my favorite horror movie. I'm sure a lot of people realize that by now if you pay attention to my channel and other things. So this was great to have. I just love the feel of this. It's very smooth, and I'm a fan of steelbooks, honestly. This is the third one I own, and I know a lot of people aren't really crazy about collecting them because it's just a steelbook. You don't really get features with them for the most part, but I just think they kind of look cool and I like the feeling of them, so it's something that I'm happy to have. And once again, have not watched this on the Blu-ray. I actually already watched The Shining this year, so I might kind of put it off for several months, but I am excited to watch this when I get the chance because I actually didn't have it on Blu-ray. So Another great gift. Next up, we have yet another awesome present, and that was Burnt Offerings. Now this one came from Derek, aka DBougie86. I hope I said that right because I know JP is always making jokes and saying the wrong name for him, but that's his YouTube channel anyway. But yeah, he picked this up for me, and once again, this is one of my favorites. It actually kind of reminds me of The Shining a little bit, or I guess The Shining reminds me of it because this one came out first, but you know, it's kind of the same concept where this innocent family kind of moves into a haunted place, and then one of the family members is kind of, you know, acting weird. This one, kind of everyone's acting weird, but kind of has the same sort of slow burn, creepy feel that The Shining has. And once again, it's one I did not have on Blu-ray. I actually just gave away my DVD copy since I no longer need that. That's one of the ones I took to Half Price Books. So this is another great addition for the collection. Next up, Derek also got me this. He was just on a streak of being a totally awesome dude, and that is Pulse, the Arrow release. I had never seen this movie before. I think he got it because I was kind of talking to him about seeing Dark Water for the first time and really enjoying that, and this is another one that kind of came out around that time period, another popular Japanese horror film, and I thought this was very creepy. It was a little too long for my taste, and at some points I got a little confused, but I still thought it was pretty creepy. I definitely prefer Dark Water, but pretty cool thing to have. Arrows, this is my only single Arrow besides the house box set that JP picked up for me a few birthdays back, because I'm pretty cheap and Arrows can be kind of expensive, so not really something that I'm running out to pick up by myself, so it's great to get this as a gift. Once again, thank you to Derek. Then after that, we do have a few things that I did pick up by myself. First up, we have Bad Ronald. This is the Warner Archive collection. They were doing a sale, and JP asked me if I would go in half to pick up 4 movies. I believe it was 4 for $44, so we each got 2 movies, and we just paid, you know, we each just paid like $22 or something. So I picked up Bad Ronald. He kind of recommended this to me. JP has told me about this movie before, and it sounds like something that I would really enjoy. Definitely right up my alley, so I'm excited to check this one out. Then after that, we have The Thing from Another World, another one I'm excited to watch because I've never seen this movie, nor did I own it, and I own the other 2 Thing movies, so I thought this was a good one to grab while I could, and pretty cool to get it on Blu-ray. With that being said, so this is another one I've always been interested in watching but just never got around to, so definitely excited for that. After that, we have Monkey Shines. This is the Scream Factory edition, and I actually got this at a Cash and Culture. Just thought it was a kind of a cool thing to find a Cash and Culture because they always kind of have just sort of generic movies, so always cool to find something like a Scream Factory, and this is a film that I have not seen before, so once again, interested to check it out. It is a Romero film, and I'm not too familiar with his films besides the Dead movies, so definitely curious on this one as well. After that, we have Victor Crowley. I also got this out of Cash and Culture. It's just the only one in the Hatchet franchise that I did not own. I did see this in theaters whenever it was doing its run, and I thought it was great. It's hilarious, and it's just really just another Hatchet movie, but that's fine. I like all the Hatchet movies, so glad to have this one now. Then finally for the Blu-rays, we have Deliverance. Yeah, I picked this one up the first time I went to Half Price Books because I just wanted to grab something. I really wasn't finding much there, but I did spot this, and this is a movie that I've always had a liking for, but just didn't have in the collection, so I thought that was a good opportunity to grab it. Took off the price tag. I forget how much this was, but I don't think it was too expensive. Moving on to the VHS, we have Stir of Echoes. Yeah, I know this is kind of like just a generic movie you could buy on DVD anywhere, but I didn't own it, and I remember liking this one when I was a kid, so I figured I would just grab it while I was at Goodwill. I don't really care. People make a big deal about VHS tapes, like, oh, you should only get obscure and rare things or else it's pointless. I don't really care about that. I'm a fan of collecting VHS. I think it looks cool on the shelf, and I mean, this one's in pretty good condition. It's sealed up, so I thought that was pretty cool. Then we have Rosemary's Baby. Again, picked this up at Goodwill the same day I got Stir of Echoes. I just think this, I honestly do genuinely think this is one of the cooler ones to have on VHS. Anytime I find an older film like this, I just have to pick it up. So grab this. I love the cover, and once again, it's in great condition. It was probably from the same person who dropped the other one off. Then we have The Lost Boys. I actually owned this on DVD, but the DVD was a piece of crap. I bought it for like $2 off of Go Hasting or one of those old websites that, you know, you get discount things. So I kind of asked for that for buying such a cheap copy, but it was in an old snapper case that was falling apart. So in a way, this is kind of an upgrade because it probably, I think that one kept freezing up as well, and I did watch this VHS, and you know, it's not the best quality, but it's not like I have to worry about it freezing up or anything like that, and you know, it's in decent shape. It's just VHS quality. After that, we have 1 Hour Photo. I had to grab this one when I saw it because it's kind of nostalgic. It's one of those movies that I saw once when I was a kid and thought was kind of weird that never went back to, and going back to it, I actually really enjoyed it a lot more than I did when I was a kid, so I thought it was a pretty cool find. Robin Williams playing a pretty, you know, out of his element type of character. He's kind of just like this loner, weirdo guy who kind of starts to invade this family's life a little bit. You know, there's a lot of movies like this, especially around this time period. This came out in 2002, but it's more of a psychological thriller as well, I would say, than horror, but I thought it was pretty solid. I would recommend it if you have not seen this one. Then lastly, we have The Brain That Wouldn't Die. This was just kind of a cool, obscure find that I found at a CD warehouse, which is kind of like Cash and Culture, but a little bit bigger. They never used to have VHS tapes, but they made a new retro room, which was pretty cool. They had VHS tapes as well as like old video games in this back room. So I found this. I just thought it was something cool to find. When I watched it, the quality was pretty bad. Like it was one of those things where the audio was just really hard to make out what they were saying, but still just thought it was kind of cool to pick up. And then lastly, we're going into the DVDs here, guys. First up, we have Evil Dead Trap. Dead Trap. This is one that, once again, Derek was kind enough to send me, and I hear it's pretty messed up. I've been wanting to watch it for so long now, but once again, I just have not had the time, and I believe it's kind of a longer film. So, yeah, that's kind of my reasoning. It's also a Synapse DVD, so that's pretty cool, but definitely want to check this one out sooner than later, because it just seems like it would be pretty messed up and something that I would be interested in. Then after that, Derek also got me this, and that is Godzilla. I always tell people how I've never seen a single Godzilla film, and they're always just like, that's horrible, especially, you know, a lot of people that I'm friends with in the horror groups are big fans of just the Godzilla movies in general, and I do find it interesting that there are so many of these films, so I finally have a reason to check this bad boy out thanks to Mr. Derek, and can make no more excuses, so hopefully I like this. I don't really know if I will or not. I do like King Kong. I know, you know, it's like King Kong versus Godzilla, so they're kind of related in that way, but not really, but hopefully I enjoy this one as well. After that, we have a few Masters of Horror. These are all from season 2, I believe. First up, we have The Black Cat. I thought this was fantastic. It's just like a take on Edgar Allan Poe. You know, you have, I believe it's, Jeffrey Combs plays Edgar Allan Poe in this, and he does a fantastic job. It's just very atmospheric and eerie, and you know, it's just kind of set back in the day. I don't really like period pieces, but with Edgar Allan Poe, you know, you're getting a pretty cool story. It's probably one of the better Masters of Horror, especially with the second season, I would say. After that, we have Right to Die. This one was okay, kind of forgettable in my opinion. I didn't really care for it too much. Like I said, it's very much forgettable to me. I don't even exactly remember everything that happened in this, but there were some creepy moments, but other than that, I didn't really care for the story too much. And then same with Pro-Life here, and I believe this is John Carpenter's for the second season. I didn't really like this one too much either. I thought the acting was kind of wonky and weird, and just the story didn't really appeal to me. Then we have Family. I did really like this one. I thought it was pretty awesome. It reminded me a little bit of Psycho and just movies like that where you have sort of a weirdo character who's kind of a loner, and then you have people trying to be nice to him. As you can see, I kind of have a pattern where I really enjoy movies like that, so I really dug this as well. Probably once again, one of the better ones in the Masters of Horror series. Next up, we have a movie called Heartstopper. I just picked this up at Cash and Culture because I thought, you know, it's an old Anchor Bay release, and it's got Robert Englund in it. It looks pretty low budget, and like it probably won't be something that I'll enjoy at all, but just figured I would pick something up and thought this might be okay. Who knows? Then we have Burial Ground. This is a Shriek Show release here thingy, so JP just told me to grab it. I don't know. It looks pretty creepy and interesting, but I honestly don't really know much about this film either. After that, we have Homesick. I thought this was a pretty cool find. It's got Bill Moseley in it. It's a Synapse DVD. Once again, I got this at Cash and Culture, so I thought it was kind of cool to find this. I had never seen it before, but it looked pretty interesting. I was highly disappointed with it. The best part is Bill Moseley, and it's one of those trick things where you only get like 5 minutes of him in it, and he really kills it with the part. Very reminiscent to Chop Top in his part, but the rest of the movie is just very low budget. It also has like Tiffany Shepis in it, and you know, it's just like I said, it's low budget. I can see why some people might like it and appreciate it, but low budget films just really aren't for me, especially. It just depends on how they're done and how they're shot, and this just wasn't really for me. Then we have The Lost. This is one that I've been looking forward to watching, but once again, it's like 119 minutes, and I just haven't gotten around to it with everything else I have to watch as of recent. But it's a Jack Ketchum film, or based on his story or whatever. Shows how much I know about anything. But this is another one JP and a lot of other people say is really good, so I'm excited to get around to watching this when I can. Then lastly, we have Beyond the Darkness. I believe this is an Italian horror film of sorts, and we all know how I am with Italian films, so who knows if I'll like this. I really like the cover art though, and once again, I thought this was just kind of cool to kind of find out in the wild, so had to pick it up. So that'll do it, guys, for this update. Thank you so much for checking it out, and as always, I'll be back with another video. I have like a review I have to do, and then I'll probably get back into the weekly dose of horror once I have my room not totally in shambles here, and I also want to just kind of show the apartment once I have everything put where I want it to be. So yeah, thank you guys once again for joining me, and as always, I'll see you in the next video.